What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Lexus once more. So let's talk about a topic regarding these trucks. One thing that's kind of a pet peeve to me, and it might be a pet peeve to you if you're watching this, is that the wheels, if you guys can see from the side, they stick, and this is for the stock wheels, they stick inside the wheel wells rather than flush with the body of the car or slightly outside of the car. And I don't know, it might be your style to rock it like that. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of slightly offset wheels. It makes the stance of the truck look more aggressive, and some people claim that it makes the truck ride smoother and whatnot. If you guys watched the last video of me getting the side steps off, I talked briefly about wheels and whatnot. Now I do have wheels on the way. However, I stumbled upon a product on Amazon which claims that they work for these L100 series SUVs. So I decided to purchase it, and I want to see how it looks just with the spacers, because the wheels that I ordered, sadly I got an email today saying that the manufacturer has a back order on them and it might take longer than expected and it might not even show up. So I figured, you know what? I've got Amazon Prime, took 2 days to get here, figured I'd give it a try. Before you go judging me and telling me, oh, you should go ahead, you should have bought the Bora spacers or the Spiderworks, or, you know, those spacers, first off, I mean, they're great quality stuff and everybody swears by them, and I've got nothing against them. The only gripe with them is that the shipping time on them right now is like several weeks, and instead of dropping like, I think I was looking at like $300 to $400 range on spacers, I'd rather throw that money towards some wheels. So if that makes sense, I mean, it makes sense to me, you know, bear with me. All right, so check it out. This is what just came in the mail today. These are the Chinese wheel spacers for this truck. Now, these are a 1.5 inch wheel spacer versus the 1.25 inch wheel spacer that everybody runs. This is the only promising option I could find on Amazon. And I actually found this through somebody who posted a picture of their LX470 on a Facebook group, and he linked this as a product that he used. So we're going to see if they bolt up directly and see if they claim to fit on these L100 series trucks. So straight out the box, it's a 5x150, that's our lug pattern, and it says it's a 1.5, and then the center bore is 110, so that should be right for our truck. Let's go ahead and pop it open. All right, there's little scratches here. It looks fairly identical to like a Bora spacer, I guess you would say. Well, all the spacers look alike. It's kind of not promising for me is that the front ones and the back ones look identical. So we will see how this fits. As far as installing them, I'm going to look up either the Bora or the Spiderworks, those two recommended ones. I'm going to see what procedure is used for those and probably use that procedure for installing these, since these don't really have an installation manual with them. So let's go ahead, let's get one side of the truck jacked up. We'll do one front, one back wheel, and see if these fit. All right, guys, let's go get the truck. Guys, so here we are. The front is the hard part because the front has this really beefy flange on it versus the rears. That's why I wanted to start with the front. It is looking promising. The only thing that kind of concerns me is that, let's see, it doesn't really sit flush with the back part there. Now, I'm not sure if that's just because of like crud that's around this flange. I don't know if you guys can see that. I did my best cleaning as much as I could off of it, and then I basically took some like lubricant and I put it around the flange and gave it one more wipe. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and install it and just do like my star pattern and go ahead and secure it. All right, guys, so this is actually looking promising. The reason why this wasn't sitting flush up against the backing plate is because guess what? It's a really snug fit. And when I say really snug fit, it's like, it's not a really snug fit. It's a snug fit to where if you start tightening these by hand, it starts, you know, creeping itself back into its place, which is, to me, is a good sign. And to me, that, you know, means that the diameter within here is within spec, I would say. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish installing this. What I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna use the Spider Tracks, or the, what is it, the Spider Works wheel spacer method. And what that is you're gonna do your star pattern install, and I'm going to torque it down to 97 foot-pounds of torque. So let me go grab my torque wrench. We'll do the 97 foot-pounds. And then obviously after a couple days of driving, you have to come back and re-torque them and make sure. Now for this application, I'm not using the thread locker because one, I don't have any, and two, if Spider Tracks says you don't need it, then I guess we don't need it. Now if you were using thread lock, I would probably torque them down to 130 or 140, just because having the liquid in there while it's still wet, you lose I don't know, like 30% of that friction torque or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't know what the terminology is, but just after reading about torque specs and stuff, and some of the guys going back and forth about these, that's just kind of the info and feedback that I got. Let's go ahead and finish installing these. It's getting dark, and to be honest, driving this thing around and just looking at it, it looks like it wants to flip over, and it kind of feels like that too when I'm inside the truck. Hopefully this will change that. And honestly, if these wheel spacers make this truck look good, I might just cancel my wheels. Before I continue with the install, I might get haters saying, oh, why are you using a wheel spacer? It's not safe for off-roading vehicles and whatnot. The case is different for these cars, and I don't know the exact physics behind it, but there's a whole bunch of people that'll tell you the way these wheel spacers are installed on here, or the way that this setup is, it's not the same thing as like a wheel spacer. Let's put it this way: if I was to run a wheel with a positive offset, basically with an offset sticking outside of the fender or flush with the fender, it would be the identical stress factors to the suspension or to the hub versus using the spacer with the wheel. So yeah, I'm not going to get into it. If you want to get into it, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what your opinion is. Oh wow, just two birds flew by me. Let me know what your opinion is, and convince me out of these wheel spacers, or convince me into them. So I'll let you guys argue down below, and we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and finish installing these wheel spacers. I need to get my torque wrench, or bleh. All right, figured I'd show you guys kind of a brief how-to on using the torque wrench. If you are watching this and installing this while watching this, thank you for watching, and thank you for trusting me. So right now you can see that it is at the 90 mark. So you see where I have the 0 at the bottom of 90. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and twist this lever. So let's see if I can do this one-handed. I'll put it between my legs. Come on. So I'm gonna twist it one-handedly until I reach basically so if you guys can see that, I'm already spinning it. So technically right now we're at 91, right? So I'm gonna keep spinning until we reach 95. So that mark right there is going to be right here with the 90. So it'll be 95 foot-pounds of torque, or what did I say, 97? We're gonna do 97. So 97. We're gonna get it to here, and then you're gonna take this knob right here and tighten this. Make sure it's nice and secure once we're at the 97. We are at 97 foot-pounds of torque, and I have this secured. Let's go over to the LX. All right, guys. Now, if you're like me and you always have a garage full of crap and never have space in your garage to work on your car, and you find yourself working out in the dark, go ahead and grab yourself one of these M18 rocket lights. This thing literally brings the day into your night. I've got plenty of light right now. All the stuff that's in my videos, at this point, I am not sponsored by any company. Everything's been purchased with my own money. I'm just a fan of good products. So let's go from there. All right, guys. So now that we're in front of the hub, we've got this basically hand torqued down. We're gonna go ahead and grab our torque wrench. I think it's called a torque wrench. We've got it set to 97 foot-pounds of torque. I've got the bottom locked. We've got a 19 mil. These are 19 mil bolts. We're gonna go ahead and do a star pattern. We're gonna secure them until you hear a click, and every click until we complete the star pattern. So there we go. That's one. Two. Three. Four. Five. I'll do it just one more time. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the wheel on. You can see where the spacer kind of wraps itself inside of the wheel diameter. So I'm liking that. That's a good sign. The whole hub-centric topic. So let's go ahead and get all the rest of them installed, and we'll go for a ride and see how it works. Guys, so before I install the last one, I just kind of want to give you guys my personal opinion of why I think this is a good quality, and to prove to the Bora and the Spiderworks or Spidertrex fanboys why this should be considered as a wheel spacer for these vehicles. All three of these corners went on just fine. Just that first driver's side corner kind of gave me a bit of a hassle, but I think that was just because of rust build up around it. So this is the last one, and this is how the last three, or how the last two went for me. Right now they're not secure. Right now this isn't secure. You're gonna get play side to side, obviously, just because we still need to install these lugs, the lug nuts. But if we go up and down, there's no play. Side to side, there's no play. It sits flush all around, all right? And then if we take this to the wheel, so let's go ahead and get this off. And remember, like I said, it's not touching any of the flange bolts on the inside. Another good point is that the stock studs for the hub, they're not sticking out of the wheel spacer. So if you look from the side, it's not sticking out of the wheel spacer, so you don't have to worry about them touching the back of your wheel. Another thing I want to bring up is if we take this off and we flip this tire. So if you see that lip, right, that goes on the inside of that inner diameter. So let's go ahead and line it up. Okay, so now that we are in, there's no play whatsoever. It's nice and snug, hub centric, right? I think that's what they mean by hub centric. So correct me if I'm wrong. So those are some of the points that I wanted to bring up to why I think this product shouldn't be slept on. I think it's a good product so far. Now, we still haven't gone on a test drive yet, but just wanted to talk about some of the points that have come up while I was doing the install. At the moment, it seems like I might have bought the last set just because I can't find the URL to this product anymore on Amazon. It seems like they're a hot commodity, these spacers for these trucks. But when the product does come up, I'll go ahead and insert a link in the description down below to this specific product. Right now, it looks like they have the 2-inch spacers. I don't know if you'd want to go with the 2-inch, and the 2-inch have not the greatest reviews right now, but these, I'm digging it so far. Let's get this installed and let's go on a test drive. Hopefully we survive the test drive. All right, guys, so here's the end result. Just got back from driving it on the highway and no complaints. On the highway, they performed great. On regular roads, they performed great. I did not notice any differences in drivability concerns, I guess you would say. On the highway, there was no like weird wobbling or anything like that. It was just the same driving experience that I had before. If anything, I personally felt more implanted into the ground, I guess you could say, just because we've got a slightly wider wheelbase. I don't feel like the truck is going to flip as I used to when it was a little bit more narrow. If you have any comments, I know some of you guys that are against wheel spacers might comment something. So yeah, if you're gonna comment down below about wheel spacers, please have a valid reason to your argument. And if you are pro wheel spacers, please have a valid reason to why you are pro. If you've made it this far, thank you guys for watching. Please press that like button, subscribe to the channel. It motivates me to do more of this kind of videos and deliver this more content to you guys. But for now, I'm gonna go home, call it a night, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.